You don't have to be a celebrity to enjoy comic books, but I hear it heightens the experience. Here to tell us a little bit about what that's like is Pat Mastroianni, and he might be better known to some as Joey Jeremiah, Degrassi's most famous grad.
How are you?
Good. Pat, tell us a little bit. When did you start collecting? How old were you?
You know, I was probably 8 or 9 years old when I first started collecting comic books. It was just an escape for me. I enjoyed the superheroes. I think anybody at that age would love to be a superhero. One of my favorites was probably Spider-Man,
Right,
like a lot of my friends. And I collected all through my teens. I remember even when we were doing Degrassi, I'd go to some of the smaller, little conventions that you'd find in the basement of a church.
Right, that's where you'd have to go.
Well, yeah, back then we didn't have these conventions in the convention center with 50,000 people showing up. It was, very difficult to be a collector back in the late 80s, early 90s, because you only had maybe a couple of your local comic book stores or a convenience store to walk into and pick up the latest issue.
There's no eBay, there's nothing like that going on.
No, and that's the great thing about collecting today is that there is this diverse community that you can go to, the blogs and websites where you can find other collectors from around the world that are looking to trade or sell or buy, and then you have great stores like Big B here in Hamilton where you can find those rare issues.
It's much more diverse. Your options are almost endless.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, now we touched just a little bit there. I just want to back on up just a tiny bit. We speak of Degrassi a little bit. That was your age growing through. So, deleted scenes, season 2. We're going to find you leafing through a Spider-Man backstage, or
probably. I know back in the day we had to be really careful about what we showed on television,
right, okay.
Copyright and everything. But I remember me and some of my fellow castmates would be like, "Okay, we're going to go to Silver Snail Comic Books in downtown Toronto
This
today."
was a thing. This actually happened.
Absolutely. No, we all loved comic books, and the hard thing is that when you are working on a television series, you have a little bit more disposable income. So it was very tempting.
And you're young and
careless, and it was very frivolous of me to go out and try and buy a Spider-Man #1 and have that money on me and go, okay, here I go, I'm going to buy it. But again, it's something that I hold on to and I cherish, and it reminds me of my youth, and it is at least something that I have to remind me of those days.
Okay, now, you and Degrassi, big comic fans, let's say. Now, we know Nick Cage, for instance, Leo DiCaprio. There are other celebrities out there. Closet celebs that we may not know about. I'm sure you've got the dirt. Name some names.
I don't know if this is dirt or closet story, but I had the opportunity to meet Kevin Smith when he came on Degrassi to do a directorial debut on our show, and of course I'm going to ask him about his collection and what he has.
You would.
And we can only dream about having some of the books that he has, and AF-15, Spider-Man #1, X-Men #1,
all the big names.
All the big names, and you just got to admire it, because guys are very macho, and we're like, oh, what do you have? Well, what do you have? So it's a bit of a competition, friendly rivalry. Well, I'm going to get this book. And Kevin was just a great guy to work with and meet, and just to admire what he has collected.
And I'm sure there's more than just Kevin out there too. It's
absolutely.
Probably a big thing.
Absolutely. I mean, I have met so many great people during the collecting of this hobby that I have. You just meet people of all walks of life, all backgrounds, and also comfort level of what they're prepared to spend and buy. I mean, this is a very healthy hobby, I think. There are worse things you could be addicted to, obviously.
Of course.
And my wife definitely tolerates me and my hobby, and she encourages to go out and have fun. And
that's good. That's good enough, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you very much, Pat, Joey. And remember, if you're ever stuck on an elevator and you're tongue-tied with your favorite TV star, ask him what comic he's reading. We'll see you next time.